Alright, so I just want to do a quick video on my Zeiss Ikonta. It's a 132-16, and according to the serial number, I think it was made in about 1937. So I wanted to make a video about how to load color film into it, because I've noticed a pretty significant problem with it for doing that. So let's get right to it. I've done a lot of experimenting, and this is just a roll of paper backing that I got from the developing shop. They pulled it out of the trash for me and gave me a spare spool. And so the problem is that I figured out that the numbers that are along the top that you can see along in this red window are for 6x9 on this color roll film. So I don't know why it's like that, but you know, I guess you can't expect a camera from 1937 to be fully compatible. So I've got this paper backing for Ektar 100. Here's the arrows that you normally would line up with something, but that's not how this camera works. There's no auto winding feature to where you line it up and then it winds it to the right spot. So I had to figure out where the film actually started, and I did that. Got these arrows here that come up, and I figured out that the film starts right here where these hashed marks are, and I assume that these have something to do with denoting the film start, but there's like a little line. I looked on the back and I could see a line where it looked like the tape probably had been sitting. There's like a little crease almost. So what I figured out is this middle arrow here, if you line that up, you will get, with the red window, you'll get the proper framing, but it's kind of janky. I'll show you how. I'll show you why. So, yeah, you'll notice you can't see this arrow. It's too high. So you have to really keep your eyes peeled for this thing to come up. So we'll watch for the arrow. There it is. See? So once you see the first arrow, lock it down, close it up, and then to get this baby started, it's in free wind right now. It'll just wind around, but then you push it down. It's pretty cool actually. Rotate it around. 2, 1. Then we'll flip it open. Maybe. There we go. And take a shot. And now let's open it up and wind. Alright, so if you notice, the edge of the film is right about there. This might be too close actually, but you can see that this line I drew up from the one, this middle row of numbers is the 6x6 numbers, or the 6x6 numbers. So I drew that little line up and you can see it's lined up there. But now the problem is we're on frame 2. But this only goes to 11, so it's kind of problematic anyway. You want to get that 12th shot. But I have a hack for that. So now we're sitting in 2. I'm gonna put it in bulb so I can just blow through these and stop me when I get to 11. So I have a little trick here. All right, we're at 11 now. All right, so here, I'll make it a time shot. Oh, a little tip about this camera. It has a 400. You can see it's kind of set apart from the other timings. You have to it feels kind of like it clicks in. It's because it's a different gearing to get that 400th speed. And if you cock it while you're in 400, first of all, it's harder to cock. you cannot take it out of, you can force it out of 400, but it gets really mad at you. And you just don't want to do that. And vice versa. You don't want to start over in 100, 200, and then go to 400. It doesn't like that either. It won't fire correctly. So keep that in mind. Let's take that 11th shot. All right. Now, for those who've been counting along at home, we really have only taken 10 shots because we burned through that first one to get in the right place. So what I do is I just take something, I just have a Post-it note here, and something like a cardboard or piece of paper, put it over the lens. If you want to be extra careful, you could stop it down all the way and make the fastest time. Go ahead and cock it. So what we do, if you were to wind it now, it would free wind as much as you wanted. So what we'll do is we'll pretend that it's loaded with film, we'll push down, go around to 1, and we'll take a picture. Now that we took a picture, we'll wind to the next frame. And boom, this too should be our 11th frame. And then we'll just take that. And then this 3 will be our 12th frame. Boom, and that's your roll. And actually, I'm going to experiment. I think I might be able to get a 13th shot out of this camera. But this allows you to experiment with that too. The only drawback is, of course, now you need to, in order to advance your film, you need to shoot it a bunch, which isn't really a problem, but it's just tedious. Probably 3 or 4 more shots, and then it'll unwind the paper. So yeah, that's my quick tutorial on how to get the Zeiss Ikonta loaded with modern color film and make it work, because it's a really cool camera. It takes good pictures. This one was near mint when I got it, and then I dropped it. The strap that it had on it was leather and it had dry rotted, and one day it just went book and it just fell, and I got that nick and this, and then this got bent in because it like hit and then it flopped back. Oh, I was brokenhearted about it, but it still works. So survived 87 years for me to break it. That was whatever. Okay, thanks. Hope this helps.